All right, in this video, we are going to share with you 6 items that you want to make sure you have in your carry-on bag when you are going on a cruise. And if you are a first-time cruiser, you definitely want to check out this short video because if you don't have these 6 items, it can result in a bad day or even a bad cruise. And we don't want you to have a bad day or a bad cruise, so stay tuned. All right, 6 essential items to have in your carry-on bag for a cruise. And if you're with us for the first time, my name is Jason, and here on the Summit Push, my wife Kelly and I, we are all about helping you to have the best travel experience possible. So if you love to travel, you love to save money, consider subscribing. Now, these 6 essential items, these are items that I would never want to go on a cruise ship without having these in my carry-on bag, never. And also, these 6 items are items that if these were the only 6 items I had in my carry-on bag, then hey, I am good with that. Times I will add more into that, but these 6 items, these are the key foundational things, so here they are. All right, item number 1 is to make sure that you have your documentation items with you. This would include your passport if you're using a passport, and we do, or whether you're using an ID and your birth certificate. But those items are items that you will need during the onboarding process for the cruise ship. So if you put those in your check bags, you're gonna have issues with that. Also, those items are harder to replace, so you wanna make sure that you have those always secured even when you're on the cruise ship, but with you when you're in that boarding process, or if you're going aboard to ports, you wanna make sure that you have those items. Along with that, we also make sure that we have any kind of documentation we got from the cruise line. Our boarding passes. I even go as far as extra luggage tags in case one ripped off. I want to have one with me. That's probably not needed. But any kind of documentation I get from the cruise line, I print copies and have it with me. Most of the time, I never need that, but I want to have everything to make sure I had no snags when we're going on the boarding process for the ship. Another thing with those essential documents is you want to make sure you have your credit cards with you. You're probably not going to need that during the onboarding process, but I personally, I just don't want that floating around where others are able to see that. And if you do need it, it's there with you. If you have some crazy expense that comes up when you're going through that process, you can take care of it at that time. Item number 2 is to make sure that you have some cash with you. Now, once you get on the ship, it is a cashless process. Everything is with your cruise card from your cruise line that you get. But during the process of going from your car to the onboarding process, you're going to encounter a few times when you may want to tip individuals, and I would recommend that. One is if you have to take a shuttle from your parking area to the cruise terminal. A lot of times they have a bucket at the front of the bus, and they don't beg you for money or anything like that, but hey, it helps them out. Sometimes they'll do subtle hints about tipping, but you know, to drop a few bucks in there for them, that's a nice gesture, so you may want to have something for that. Another is when you drop off your luggage. Those guys and girls do a wonderful job of getting that luggage on board the ship and to your stateroom. So, you know, giving them some money, a little tip for that is great. And if you don't have that cash with you, then you're not able to do that. Item number 3 would be to make sure that you have your camera or cell phone with you. And for most people, it's going to be one and the same. You're going to use your cell phone as the camera. But you know, during those first several hours, you may not see your checked baggage. It may not be at your stateroom yet. So to have that with you, you're able to capture those moments of going on ship and, you know, sailing away and the sail away parties, these different things. And you want to be able to capture those moments, so you need that with you. Also, think about if that's lost, you know, for some weird reason. And by the way, I've never known of luggage to be lost. We've never lost luggage going on board a cruise ship. If you have, then comment below and let us know, but I've never known that. But imagine if you did lose that. You know, that's sort of hard to replace, so keeping that with you is great. Another thought with that is make sure that you have your phone charger with you, or at least consider that. If you're traveling the day of and you're getting there and your battery's low, you don't want that thing to die out, and again, you're not able to capture those moments. And then there's item number 4, and that would be your hygiene items or your personal care items. When you check your baggage and you go through that boarding process, it literally may be a few hours before you get your luggage. Sometimes we've got it really quickly, but other times it's been several hours. And so you're out and you're on the deck and, you know, maybe in the heat, if it's a warm weather cruise, you know, you're sweating a little bit and, you know, you have some lunch and all of this stuff. And then maybe you're wanting to go watch a show or something like that, and you just want to freshen up. If you don't have your baggage yet, you can't do that. You know, ladies, maybe to be able to touch up makeup. Any of those items that you might need for a freshen up kind of process, make sure you have that with you. You will be sorry if you don't, and you will be glad that you do have it. By the way, those cruising with you, they may be glad that you have it too. Man, we don't need no stinky people on the cruise. Item number 5 would be to make sure that you have any essential medications with you in your carry-on bag. You're not gonna be able to replace those very easily on a cruise, so that is just absolutely essential. Also, if you need those in those few hours before you get your other baggage, you wanna be able to have access to those. Another just sort of a power tip with that, it's going to be a lot easier if you have those medications in the original packaging, or at least if you have those clearly labeled in some way. When your baggage or your carry-on goes through a TSA checks, if they're curious to know what a certain item is and they come across that, it just sort of helps that process if it's already labeled and makes that go a lot smoother. Item number 6 is to make sure that you have some amount of sunscreen with you. When you get on board the ship, you're going to want to go check it out. You're going to go up on the decks. You're going to want to see the recreation areas and the pools and the sights that you can see from the port that you're departing from. And a lot of the initial activities will even take place on the deck of the ship, the sail away parties. Individuals want to just watch the port as you're sailing out. And when you're out there and all that, you're getting exposed. And what you don't want to have happen is you don't want to get burned up in those first few hours that you're on a cruise ship and make your time a little bit more miserable as you're going through the cruise. So make sure you pack a little bit of that sunscreen with you. One additional sort of power tip. If you're an individual that likes to lay out poolside, or if you like to swim, or you have kids with you and they're wanting to go down the slides and every bit of that, consider putting that swimsuit in your carry-on as well. You can go to your stateroom, you can get changed out and go up on deck, and you can go ahead and begin enjoying that. So that is our 6 items. What about you? What are the essential items that you take on your carry-on bag? Comment below and let us know. We thank you so much for watching. On the Summit Push, we truly want to help everyone have the best travel experience possible. God bless you and have a good day.